Have you ever wondered if love is truly enough to sustain a relationship? Have you ever found yourself trapped in a relationship where your heart still beats strong, but reality screams that something isn't right? The truth is, we often confuse emotional intensity with relational maturity, and that's one of the biggest traps in love. According to statistics, nearly half of marriages end in divorce, but not always because love is gone. Many times, love is still present, but the lack of respect, mutual effort, or commitment turns what could have been a blessed union into an emotional prison. Today, we're going to reflect on how far it's worth fighting for a relationship. When is persistence an act of faith? And when is it simply holding on to something with no future? I'll share real stories, biblical principles, and practical guidance so you can find clarity. Before we continue, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And let me know in the comments, in your opinion, when is love no longer enough? Many of us grew up hearing that if there's love, there's a solution. That phrase sounds beautiful, but it's incomplete. Love is the foundation, but it's not the walls or the roof of a relationship. On its own, it can't hold the structure together. The Bible teaches us that love always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. 1 Corinthians 13:7. But notice that love is not just a feeling, it's a decision, an action, a daily attitude. The problem is, most people live with an idealized romantic love, one that cannot withstand the weight of routine, bills, or personality differences. It's like having fuel in the car but no engine. Love provides the energy, but it needs respect, commitment, and communication to move forward. Without those, the relationship becomes fragile, no matter how strong the feelings may be. Think about it. Are you investing in a mature love that acts, or in a childish love that only feels? There are moments when fighting is not only valid, but necessary. Especially in marriage, giving up can often be a rushed decision. Many couples separate not because of unsolvable problems, but because they simply don't know how to face them. Serious issues, like lack of attention, poor communication, or emotional coldness, often have simple solutions when there's humility to seek help. How many couples gave up before trying therapy, spiritual counseling, or even an honest, defense-free conversation? If respect still exists, if both partners still show a willingness to rebuild, and if mistakes don't involve abuse or repeated betrayal, then fighting is worth it. Because most of the time, what destroys marriages is not what happened, but what was left untreated. Ask yourself, does my partner still show signs of effort? Is there still a foundation of respect? If yes, maybe it's not time to give up yet. On the other hand, there are clear signs that holding on to a relationship will only bring more pain. Relationships outside of marriage, for instance, are often nothing more than stretched-out illusions. Dating without commitment, situationships that drag on for years, relationships where you're never a priority. The biggest sign it's time to walk away is when you're alone inside the relationship. When, when everything depends on your effort, when the other person shows no real interest in change, when you've had the same conversation dozens of times and nothing changes. Love is important, but by itself it doesn't change anyone. If the other doesn't commit, your persistence turns into self-abandonment. Many people confuse faith with stubbornness. True faith doesn't ignore reality. It sees it under God's light. The Bible shows us that there is a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. Ecclesiastes 3:5. That means fighting for a relationship doesn't mean denying the problems, but seeking solutions aligned with God's will. In some cases, faith strengthens you to rebuild. In others, faith gives you the courage to close the cycle and move on in peace. Ask yourself, is my fight building me up or destroying my emotional and spiritual health? Love is essential, but it's not enough. It must walk alongside respect, truth, mutual effort, and faith. Knowing when to fight and when to let go is one of the greatest signs of emotional and spiritual maturity. If your relationship still has respect, dialogue, and a desire for change, then fight with all your strength. But if there's only pain, lack of reciprocity, and no future, understand this. Even God allows new beginnings. I want to hear from you. How far do you believe it's worth fighting for love? Leave it in the comments. If this video brought you clarity, hit like, share, and subscribe. Your engagement helps this message reach more people.